Tammy, lots of good things have sure happened to you in a short time.
Oh, they have. It's been a fine year. It's been the first year and the best year so far.
What were you doing this time last year?
This time last year, I was doing a television show in Birmingham.
Just a local TV show?
Yes, every morning at 6 o'clock.
And now you've, oh my goodness, and now you've made, 4 records?
Yes.
In 1968, a song emerged that would become both an anthem and a lightning rod. Its singer, a Mississippi cotton picker turned country music queen, would find herself at the center of a cultural revolution she never sought to join. This is the story of Virginia Wynette Pugh, known to the world as Tammy Wynette, a woman whose soaring voice carried the weight of her struggles, whose life embodied both triumph and tragedy, and whose legacy reaches far beyond the confines of country music. From cotton fields to sold-out concerts, from beauty school to the Grand Ole Opry, this is the story of country music's First Lady. Early years on May 5th, 1942 in Itawamba County, Mississippi, Virginia. Wynette Pugh entered a world of red clay soil and unrelenting sun. Born in the depths of World War II to a family of cotton farmers, her life began with both promise and tragedy. Her father, William Pugh, a talented local musician who played fiddle at weekend square dances, died of a brain tumor when Virginia was just 9 months old. He left behind only 2 legacies, his cherished Gretsch guitar and the musical dreams that would later find voice in his daughter. Life on her grandparents' cotton farm taught young Virginia lessons in both hardship and harmony. By age 7, she was in the fields before dawn, her small hands pulling white bowls from their thorny casings, while gospel hymns echoed across the rows. The rhythm of the work, the methodical picking, the weight of the sack dragging behind her, became the backbeat to her childhood dreams. Her grandfather, recognizing a spark of her father's talent, taught her the guitar in the evenings, her fingers learning to find melodies among the calluses of farm work. Despite the demanding life of a farming family, music remained Virginia's constant companion. She sang in the modest wooden church where her grandfather served as deacon, her clear voice rising above the congregation during Sunday services. At home, she'd tune into the Grand Ole Opry on their battery-powered radio, harmonizing with distant voices that spoke of lives beyond the cotton fields. Her mother Mildred, hoping to provide her daughter a path away from farm life, encouraged her to dream, but insisted on practicality, leading Virginia to beauty school in Tupelo. By 17, seeking escape from the endless cycles of planting and harvest, she married Upal Bird. Soon she was mother to 3 daughters, juggling the demands of young motherhood with her work as a beautician. But even as she styled hair in a small town salon, she kept singing at local radio stations, county fairs, and any stage that would have her. Her customers would often hear her harmonizing with the radio playing in the background, unaware they were witnessing the early rehearsals of country music's future queen. Rise to fame. In 1968, a song emerged that would become both an anthem and a lightning rod. Its singer, a Mississippi cotton picker turned country music queen, would find herself at the center of a cultural revolution she never sought to join. This is the story of Virginia Wynette Pugh, known to the world as Tammy Wynette, a woman whose soaring voice carried the weight of her struggles, whose life embodied both triumph and tragedy, and whose legacy reaches far beyond the confines of country music. From cotton fields to sold-out concerts, from beauty school to the Grand Ole Opry, this is the story of country music's First Lady. On May 5, 1942, in Itawamba County, Mississippi, Virginia Wynette Pugh was born into a world of hardship and determination. Her father, William Pugh, a farmer and local musician who dreamed of a musical career, died of a brain tumor when Virginia was just 9 months old, leaving behind only a cherished Gretsch guitar and a legacy of unfulfilled dreams. Raised by her mother Mildred and maternal grandparents on their cotton farm, young Virginia's childhood was marked by hard work and musical inspiration. By age 7, she was picking cotton in the sweltering Mississippi heat, her small hands pulling white bowls while gospel hymns and country songs played in her head. Her grandfather, noting her natural talent, taught her to play her father's guitar, and soon her clear, emotional voice filled their small farmhouse. Despite the demands of farm life, Virginia found opportunities to perform, singing at local churches and talent shows. Her mother, hoping for a more stable future, encouraged her to attend beauty school in Tupelo. At 17, seeking escape from the cotton fields, she married Eupil Bird and soon became mother to 3 daughters. Working as a hairdresser by day and singing in local clubs by night, she balanced family responsibilities with her growing musical ambitions, never knowing that fate would soon transform her from a small-town beautician into country music's most powerful voice. In 1966, with 3 young children and a dream that wouldn't die, Tammy made the bold decision to leave for Nashville. Armed with nothing but determination and her distinctive voice, she began making the rounds of Music Row, her hair still styled in her trademark beautician's bouffant. The breakthrough came when she caught the attention of producer Billy Sherrill at Epic Records, who saw in her voice the potential to revolutionize country music. The transformation from Virginia Pugh to Tammy Wynette began with her first single, Apartment Number 9, which showcased her emotionally charged delivery, but it was her third single, Divorce, that captured the nation's attention, speaking directly to the hearts of working-class women across America. The song's raw honesty about the pain of family breakdown struck a chord that would become her trademark. Then came the song that would define her career and spark controversy for decades to come. Stand By Your Man, written in just 15 minutes with Billy Sherrill, became the biggest-selling single ever recorded by a woman in country music. Its message, both embraced and criticized, catapulted Tammy into the national spotlight and earned her the title First Lady of Country Music. Between 1967 and 1970, Tammy would release a staggering string of hits, each one cementing her status as country music's leading lady. Her voice, with its distinctive emotional catch and soaring high notes, became the sound of country music's evolution into a more sophisticated, emotionally complex genre. Personal struggles. Behind the glittering success and #1 hits, Tammy Wynette's personal life was marked by a series of struggles that would both fuel her artistry and ultimately contribute to her downfall. Her marriage to George Jones, while producing some of country music's most memorable duets, was plagued by his alcoholism and erratic behavior. Their volatile relationship, which ended in divorce in 1975, became the subject of Nashville legend and tabloid fodder. Throughout her life, Tammy would marry 5 times, each relationship adding layers to her public persona as country music's tragic queen. But it was her health that would become her most persistent adversary. Beginning in the 1970s, she underwent more than 24 major surgeries, including multiple operations on her bile duct and intestines. The chronic pain led to a dependency on pain medication that would haunt her for decades. One of the most bizarre chapters in her life occurred in 1978, when she reported being kidnapped from a Nashville shopping center. She was found hours later, bruised and battered, though questions about the incident's authenticity would follow her for years. The truth of that October night remains one of country music's most debated mysteries. Financial trouble also plagued her later years, despite her earlier success. The cost of maintaining her image, combined with medical bills and business setbacks, strained her resources. Yet through it all, Tammy maintained her performing schedule, often taking the stage in visible pain, her dedication to her audience never wavering. She famously said, "The show must go on, and if you can't handle that, you're in the wrong business." Career evolution. As the 1980s dawned, Tammy Wynette proved herself far more versatile than her Stand By Your Man image suggested. Her collaborations crossed genre boundaries, from duets with traditional country artists to unexpected partnerships in pop music. Her 1991 collaboration with the British electronic group KLF on Justified and Ancient surprised fans and critics alike, reaching #1 in 18 countries and introducing her to a new generation of listeners. Throughout this period, she continued to tour extensively, her voice adapting to showcase new emotional depths. Television appearances became more frequent, with Tammy appearing on popular shows and made-for-TV movies. She earned praise for her candid interviews about her past struggles, showing a vulnerability that endeared her to new audiences. The 1990s brought a career renaissance. Her album Honky Tonk Angels recorded with Dolly Parton and Loretta Lynn in 1993, reminded the world of her artistic vitality. The project united country music's three most influential women, cementing Tammy's place in the genre's pantheon. Her autobiography, Stand By Your Man, became a bestseller and was adapted into a television movie, allowing her to reclaim her narrative on her own terms. Despite her ongoing health battles, Tammy maintained a rigorous touring schedule well into the 1990s. Her voice, though changed by time and tribulation, carried a new gravitas that made every performance more powerful than the last. She continued recording until her final years, leaving behind a legacy of artistic evolution that transcended her early personal. Behind the music, what set Tammy Wynette apart wasn't just her voice, but how she used it. Working closely with producer Billy Sherrill, she pioneered a sound that became known as countrypolitan, blending traditional country with orchestral arrangement and sophisticated production techniques. Her signature vocal catch, that emotional break in her voice, wasn't a deliberate technique but a natural expression of feeling that became her trademark. In the recording studio, Tammy was known for her remarkable efficiency. Most of her hits were recorded in just 1 or 2 takes, with Stand By Your Man famously completed in a single session. She approached each recording with a storyteller's instinct, often saying she didn't just sing the song, she lived them. Her stage presence was equally distinctive. Unlike many of her contemporaries who adopted elaborate costumes, Tammy maintained her beautician sense of style, elegant but approachable. She connected with audiences through subtle gestures and facial expressions, making even large venues feel intimate. Her concerts were masterclasses in emotional delivery, with every song becoming a 3-minute drama drawn from her own experiences, legacy and impact. Tammy Wynette's influence on country music extends far beyond her 20 #1 hits and 3 million albums sold. She redefined what it meant to be a female country artist, bringing raw, emotional honesty to subjects rarely addressed in popular music. Her willingness to tackle difficult themes, divorce, loneliness, and domestic struggle, paved the way for future generations of female artists. The title, First Lady of Country Music, wasn't just a nickname, it was a recognition of how she transformed the genre. Her voice influenced countless artists from Faith Hill to Reba McEntire, while her songs continue to resonate with new audiences. Even in death, her impact grows as new generations discover her music. Miranda Lambert perhaps said it best. Tammy showed us that it's okay to be vulnerable, to be strong, and to be real. She wasn't just standing by her man, she was standing for every woman who ever had a story to tell. Tammy Wynette once said that country music is about real life, and few lived it more fully than she did. From beauty parlors to ballrooms, from heartbreak to triumph, her story continues to inspire. If you've enjoyed this journey through country music history, don't forget to hit subscribe and the notification bell to catch more stories of the legends who shaped American music. Share your favorite Tammy Wynette memory in the comments below, and join us next week as we explore another unforgettable voice from the heart of country music. Until then, keep standing by the music you love.